Hello there! I'm Scotty. You're not. You may be asking, the hell is this? That's what I said when I was presented with this movie. Uphill All the Way, which was presented to me by BigLT. Yes, of the channel BigLT Radio. Go check out his channel. He's got video game stuff. He's starting, I think, the reactions to Shinies he's doing. I think he started a whole new series on that. So go to his channel, BigLT Radio, BigLT Radio, and Miku, whatever you want to call it. Go to his channel. But he requested me to review this movie. This morning I'm in the van, the work van, going to the next site, and I see a message pop up. I have a review request for you. And then this pops up. I'm like, what in the blue hell is this? I got eyelashes messing with me. I never heard this before. Although, I know they asked some of the actors in this. This is an old school actors. It came out in 1986. Stars Roy Clark and Mel Tillis. Roy Clark, you may know from Hee Haw. And Burl Ives is the sheriff, who you probably know as the voice of the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But he's also in a Disney movie, Summer Magic, where he sings the song about the ugly bug ball. Come on, let's crawl, gotta crawl, do the ugly bug ball, do the ball, and what lovely fun we'll have there. One and all at the ugly bug ball. Yes, him and his beard are both here, as well as a couple other actors that look familiar to you, and you go, I think I know that guy. I think I know that guy. We'll get there. Also, Glenn Campbell is credited as being in this movie, but I think he only sings music. I don't know if I saw him in the movie, or I just don't recognize him. I don't know. But he's credited. It's a Western comedy about two guys. You know that Rod Stewart song, "Some guys have all the luck." Well, he wasn't talking about these two, because they have one of the worst luck you could ever have. Alright, they go from getting thrown off a train, losing at cards, they get lucky, but then don't, and get kicked out again. They get accused of robbing a bank. They do not rob the bank, and yet the cops are still chasing after them, because technically they stole the car, but not really stole the car. We'll get to it. And so the sheriff rounds up a posse. Is that even legal to get him? I guess if he's deputizing them, it's legal to chase them down. They then steal clothes from two army soldiers and get embroiled in Custer's Last Stand type battle at this grocery store, or whatever it is supposed to be, a convenience store. They're hailed as heroes, but nobody knows who they are. So, and that's the end of the movie, really. No, it's not. So we get this song, "Uphill All the Way," or wherever it goes, and we see them getting thrown off the train. They land in this small town. So their names are Ben and Booger. Okay. I'm listening. Did he just call him Booger? What? Ben and Booger. Roy Clark is Ben and Mel Tillis is Booger. And this is not a negative, but it was an issue for me. I know that this Mel Tillis' thing, I guess, read it up that he has that stutter. I don't know if it's a real stutter. As someone who has a real stutter, probably not as serious as most. I get it. But I don't know. Was that a real life situation, or was that just his thing? I don't know. It's kind of hard to understand. Keep in mind, I'm watching this from a VHS rip from 1986, probably 87. VHS rip of the movie. So I didn't call it not so good. I mean, it was loud enough, but it looks good for a VHS rip. So and this is my bad ear, and it's right there. So they go to a saloon where they try to cheat at card games and do not at a card game, and doesn't work. So they decide to get laid with two ladies of the night, and so This is the first part where I think they get screwed, and I don't mean literally. I mean like, so she's like, you need to pay me, and he's like, well, here, and hands her the whatever the cent was, whatever the coin of the realm was at the time, and she's like, no, you said I gave you absolute happiness or whatever it's called. That's extra. That's $5. First of all, $5 for back then. You couldn't afford it. He's like, no. You didn't tell me it was extra, which is true. She did not say it was extra. He just said that, and apparently Booger was so good he doesn't have to pay. And somehow they both get hosted out of there and thrown down the steps, which they survive. Yeah. So now their next genius idea to make money, it just wouldn't even work even if it was legit. So their idea is to sell their shotgun to the bank. See, you don't sell things to the bank unless it's your home, maybe. You gotta go to the ye olde pawn shop yonder. No, they go into the bank and they're like, here, pointing the gun. So the guy thinks he's getting robbed. He activates the alarm and they run out. You see this guy driving. Apparently cars are so new they don't know how to start, because this dude's going around in circles. And they hitch a ride with him until he realizes they have a shotgun, and he jumps out. Let me repeat that. He jumps out and runs back to the town. And then we get the debut of the sheriff, played by Burl Ives. And let me tell you, this sheriff don't give a shit. He comes in yelling about the goddamn alarm. Turn that off. Turn it off, huh? Turn it off. And then is just yelling at this guy. How many times I told you not to turn on that alarm? I told you do it one more time, I'm throwing you in jail. He said, no, I did it on purpose this time. Apparently he does it all the time. I did it on purpose this time to people trying to rob me. And when he tries to explain what happened, well, how much money did they take? They didn't take any. So technically they didn't rob him. He's like, oh, oof. Until that guy comes back and said, well, they took my vehicle. Which, no, they didn't. Not really. He's claiming they stole it. So that's why he starts getting this posse to go get these guys who stole the vehicle. But they didn't steal it. The guy jumped out, and they just kept going with the car. Right? The guy jumped out and ran the opposite direction. He left them. He didn't. It's not like they said, "Hey, give me your car." No, they just because they have the shotgun. They shouldn't be putting that thing around. But yeah. Things, again, don't go their way when the wheel falls off. And that's when they're found by two Army Rangers with two familiar faces. Now, one of them, the more corpulent guy, I think he's the sergeant. He is also from Hee-Haw, but I recognize him. And you may recognize him from the Ernest movies. You know, those three: Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Saves Christmas, and Ernest Goes to Jail. He's one of the brothers in those movies, but that's not where I recognize him. I recognize him as the guy from The Outsiders who was in the hospital with Pony Boy after the fire, and he's sitting there, he's smoking. He says, you shouldn't smoke. He's like, you're smoking. Yeah, but I'm an adult. It's okay for me to smoke. You shouldn't do that. That guy. I saw him like, is that guy? I'm like, no, I'm just seeing. It is him. It is him. I looked it up. And the other guy is also familiar if you've seen Back to the Future Part 3. He's the guy who gives Marty McFly his gun. I want to give Mr. Eastwood, I want to give you this Colt Peacemaker. Of course, if you don't win, I'm going to have to take it back. Yes, that guy. And, yeah, so they basically... Okay, this is legitimately the only thing that they actually steal, these guys' clothes. Because wouldn't you know it, they're exactly the same size. So they steal their clothes and their horses and take off, leaving them with the broken car. Yeah. And yeah. So then they come across more army soldiers and have to convince them they're army soldiers. They gotta help them get their wagon out. But then when they're trying to get it out, the two take off on their horses in the other direction. So that wasn't no. Meanwhile, the sheriff, he moseys on and finds the two in their what do you call that? Long Johns. So Long John, you know the old style under Long Johns where it covers your whole body. Yeah, those. So I always found those unpractical. It was hot as hell. You don't need to have it your whole body. I don't know. I guess heat back in the Western days wasn't always the best. Campfire, that's about it. I don't even know. Maybe you have a fire in your house, I guess is how you do it. They didn't have furnaces back then. I guess they sort of had a wood burning furnace type thing, I guess. But wood burning is what I said. Wood burning furnace for your house. But it wasn't like now where heat goes throughout. You know what I mean? And then we get to the climax of this picture. Yes, they get to this general store and they find out that there's a shootout going on. And they end up fighting in the shootout and helping them win. After a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking at the end here. I'm like, what? But they do eventually save the day. Saving the day. But then they take off because the cops are still after them. Yeah. So what do? They hop another train. And I guess I missed the part. Did they actually have tickets or did they once again stow away? They're like, oh, we have tickets. They're in our luggage. But there's like, well, I need your tickets. I just told you they get kicked off the train. And it's assumed. They see in the newspaper that they're going to be hailed as heroes. But they need to know who they are. So they thought of turning themselves in so they could be heralded as heroes. But the problem is they're still wanted. So, you know, when that they show up, the sheriff would arrest them and like, no, we were the ones that held, you know. I don't know. They get booted off this train again. I don't even know how they're surviving all this shit. They get booted off the trains, moving trains. Yeah. Waiting for Indiana Jones to pop up and go, no ticket. That would. But yeah. But then they get thrown down a flight of stairs earlier. No one was survived that. I don't know. Yeah. This was a fun picture. This was a fun movie to watch. I don't know. I can't think of a thing to say. No, it was fun to watch. Certainly it's something that I wouldn't have come across on my own if he hadn't suggested it to me, so there's that. But also, I was trying to look up some things. I couldn't find any box office information. This might have just been a direct-to-video type situation because I look at Wikipedia. They don't have any production stuff. They don't have any kind of information on the budget or how much money it made in the box office. Nothing. And what's more is this is one of the rare accounts of when I search for a review on YouTube and there's nothing. Not even for some of the more, you know, what's the word I'm thinking of? Some of the more out there movies. At least there'll be a Siskel and Ebert review or something. There's nothing. I think I'm gonna have the first review on YouTube of this here movie. I don't think. I couldn't find anything. So, we've come to the end of the review, and this is the point where I have to give my rating. And I always get scared to give ratings for people who have suggested these or requested these, because what if? I've been mostly positive, so there's that for you. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give this a very high, middle of the road. I liked it, but again, I'm not, even if I saw it, that's also another thing. It's not streaming anywhere. Well, not even the big streaming services. You could buy it off Fandango or Amazon, or Amazon? What's that called? iTunes and Google Play. You can buy them off there, but yeah, there's no actual streaming service. This was released by New World Pictures, who also released Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night, a far superior film, I might add. Yes. And dancing, much romancing. You were born a winner. Got to know you. We're all below you. You're a star. Sorry, Pinocchio got to me. But yes, yes, it's a high middle of the road for me. I liked it. Not something maybe it's something I can put in the background. I even tried to find this on eBay, thinking, for a Blu-ray of this, about the $20 for a Blu-ray. Not bad, but I don't know. I think we need to get out of the trend of the older the title, the more. Because, I know those boutique labels like Scream Factory, Shop Factory, they're gonna throw. And then the Vestron ones are like $30 a pop, unless you can get them from Walmart. Then they're cheaper, but the ones you can't. Anyway, yeah, it's a high middle of the road for me. So, what are your thoughts on Uphill All the Way? Leave a comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.